Okay, so you clicked on this video because you want to know how to make a vision board, but one that actually works. Don't worry, girl, I have got you covered in this video because let's be honest, vision boards can be really powerful, but most people just think it's a collection of pretty pictures that you stick on the wall and forget about it. Not true. They're very powerful for manifesting, but also helping you beat procrastination, getting clarity on what you actually want, and taking action, which is what we're all about. So in this video, I am going to guide you through this. I'm going to show you what exactly a vision board is, why it's such a powerful tool. I'm also going to show you how to actually create it step by step. And I'm also going to show you my practical tips for you to get the most out of your vision board. And I'm really excited for this video. This is not something that I normally do, so I'm feeling pumped for it. Thank you so much for being here. If I haven't met you yet, hello, my name is Alice Dartnell. I'm a time and energy management coach, and my whole ethos is about helping you unfuck your flow and take action. So we are saying no to procrastination, overwhelm, shiny object syndrome, any of that. And vision boards can actually be a way to do that. Now, let me just explain really quickly. I have been doing vision boards, show me age here, but for about 20 years. And actually, I do have my vision board down here, which I'm going to show you because I have been carrying this around the world with me for 20 years. I started this when I was 19 at university, and it wasn't this big, it was like less than A4, and over the years I've just added and added to it, and as you can see, it's absolutely battered, and I try and hook it up wherever I go, whether I'm in England, Spain, Cambodia, wherever I've been floating around the world for the last couple of years. And for me, it's always been a source of fun and inspiration, but something that I absolutely adore. So I'm really glad that you are here watching this video. Let's dive straight in. Okay, so first of all, lovely, let's look at what a vision board actually is. A vision board, really, in its basic terms, is just literally a board of pictures with the things that you want. As simple as that. But it's so much more than that because you can consider it almost like a visual clarity tool. It's a collection of images, like I showed you on my one, that represents images and maybe even words of the things that matter to you, your goals, where you're heading, the type of lifestyle you want to live, the business you want to create. It could be things like your goals, your wishes, your wish list, your bucket list. It could also be experiences that you want to live, how you want your days to look and feel, the kind of energy you want to bring as well. And it's also about like the version of the person that you're growing into as well, which if you've seen my content before, you will know I'm very big on the whole identity-led action taking. So it's also about that. I'm going to actually show you mine to get a little bit more like insight. And I don't obviously go around showing everyone my vision board, but it also isn't a secret. So this is the one that I created for turning 39 in September. I know this is where you insert that I don't look a day over 21. And in this vision board, it doesn't need updating, to be honest, because things have already like moved on. But on this vision board, we've got obviously a collection of images and words that represent the life that I want to create for myself. And obviously this one is geared for being 39. So I'm just going to show you some of the things that we got on here. Okay, so things like this, like the Kurt Geiger bag. This was something that I wanted to get myself at the end of the year for a reward. Now, this is actually really interesting, not scripted, going off piste already. But this bag, I love Kurt Geiger bags, by the way. And this is the bag that I wanted when I hit a certain milestone and blah, blah, blah in my business. And funny enough, when I went to get the bag then was on sale. And then I also had a discount voucher for 10% off and blah, blah. So I ended up getting the bag for almost half price. And I was like, it's because I put it on my vision board. Anyway, so we've got that on there. This symbolises me writing my book. Things like learning Spanish, which I'm doing. This symbolises the book that I'm writing a collaboration with. I've got here, obviously, I'm doing like more media work, so the newspapers there indicate that. This one's a picture of a magnet. This is just simply me reminding myself that I'm magnetic with my energy. This one didn't materialise actually. That was me winning an award for Flamingo. Didn't win it. Robbed, whatever. We've also got on here like YouTube, obviously like doing content, etc. So as you can see, it's like a real mixed bag here of experiences, things that I'm doing, milestones I want to hit, but also I've got words in there as well, like I'm successful, and also like scuba diving as well. Like I really want to go scuba diving. I haven't been for the longest time, so I've put that on there. No idea how that's going to happen. And there's different. I've even got on there like messages from clients to remind myself like I'm great at what I do and I help my clients, etc. So for me, the vision board really is a collection of images and words encompassing the life that I want to live. And that for me is why it's so important, because like your vision board is information. It's showing you and your brain what you're working towards, the life that you're creating, that life by design, that business by design that I talk so much about. So why are vision boards so powerful? Like obviously you can tell I'm a bit of a super fan, but why? So yes, I am very woo. I love my spiritual side of stuff, but actually there's a lot of science behind visualization, behind vision boards. Now the first one is that our brains actually process images faster than words. You've probably heard before that we are visual creatures, and our brains actually process visual information far quicker. And when I say far quicker, I'm not just talking about like twice as quick. Like they can process images up to 60,000 times faster than words. Like that's pretty speedy. So this is why seeing something can land so much more quicker than writing. And they always say like an image speaks 1,000 words. Like, yeah, maybe 60,000 words. So our brains respond well to it because our brains are processing images. The second reason why I think vision boards are so powerful is that visualization, that activates the brain as if it was real. Like the brain cannot tell the difference between whether something is vividly imagined or happening in the reality right this second. So if your brain can see it before it's like manifested and materialized in the 3D, like your brain doesn't know the difference. So it's already going to start creating the same neural pathways as if you were actually doing it. So for example, with my vision board, one of the things that I want to do is write my book. Now, I haven't written the book yet, but by constantly seeing that visual reminder of she's writing the book, I'm already creating those neural pathways as if I'm writing the book. Number 3, again, visual imagery, so important. Visual imagery increases motivation and follow through. Now, obviously as a time management coach, I work with busy business women who are super ambitious, but we know we sometimes get in our own way, especially around things like procrastination, shiny object syndrome, overwhelm, etc. So how does visual imagery help here? Well, there's actual research to show that people who use mental imagery like this in a vision board, they are more motivated, more engaged, more likely to follow through on the things that they've visualized. So this is what you visualize, you've put it on your vision board, and it's not just about feeling inspired, it's about that motivation and follow through to go after that. Number 4, your brain's filtering system will notice what matters. Now, you've probably heard me talk about it loads before, the reticular activating system, favourite part of my brain. I know, geek, you are allowed your favourite part of the brain. And the reticular activating system, or the RAS, that is that's the part of the brain that decides what gets your attention and what doesn't. So you're bombarded, repeatedly given information every single day, and your poor brain has got to decide, is that important for me to take on or is it not? So when you repeatedly see images that correlate and correspond to your goals, the values, the way that you want to live, your brain is going to start noticing. It's going to start noticing the opportunities, the ideas, the connections, what to say yes to, what to say no to. So in previous years when I was focusing on my health, I think I had an image on there of fruit and veg. And I ate healthier because I was constantly seeing that image, and my brain was like, right, okay, well, that's what she's wanting, that's the identity. So then, you know, if you see me on Instagram, you know this girl likes cake and cocktails. So I'm not militant about it, but it did make me more mindful of the choices that I was making, purely because every single frigging day I was looking at my vision board and seeing fruit and veg. So there's power in showing your brain what it is that you're after. Number 5, visualization. I love this one. Visualization is used in enhancing performance. Now, even elite athletes use visualization on things like races and routines, movements, because research has shown that when we mentally rehearse something, it activates the same areas of the brain as if we were actually doing it. When I learned that, I was like, that's fucking mental, but cool. Like, we can actually activate the area in our brain responsible for that thing just by visualizing it. And they've done studies on this in terms of like growing muscles, and even on playing the piano, which I actually, when I was younger, could play the piano, so I love it. It's one of my favorite instruments. And they did a research study where there was a group visualizing it and a group doing it. And the ones that were visualizing, memorizing, doing it, like still activated the same brain regions as the people physically playing the piano. Mental. So it's obviously going to therefore improve things like confidence, motivation, execution. And this is true for visualization, but this is also true for the vision board. It helps in the same way. It's almost like that visual prompt that you can give yourself to help you mentally rehearse for the future, life, business goals, whatever that you are trying to manifest. So vision boards aren't just wishful thinking. They're not just like pretty pictures that you've stuck up. Like, they're about giving your brain clear signals about what it is that you are wanting and what is important and of value to your life. Okay, so we've looked at what a vision board is and why it's so important, like why it works. Let's talk about how we actually create it, okay? So please, with your vision board, don't get all perfectionist about it. It's not about being aesthetically perfect. And if somebody else looks at your vision board and they don't understand it, it doesn't matter, okay? Like, if other people see it and you're happy with that, that's fine. If you don't want other people to see it, that's also fine. It's your vision board. It is definitely not about like sticking it up and going, oh, look how beautiful my vision board is. Like, this is not Pinterest worthy stuff here, okay? And on that note, when you are creating your vision board, I want you to let go of that, like what other people think, you know? Because I've had people look at my vision board before and be like, what's that? What's that? What's that? Because they didn't understand the symbolism behind why I chose in that video. So for example, one of the images I had one year was when I was going through my insomnia was of this cat, and it looked like it was like just, it looked like it was all like blissfully sleeping. And I was like, that is how I want to sleep. So when my friend saw it, she was like, oh my God, you're going to get a cat? And I was like, no. I was just like, that's for me being like, I want to blissfully sleep like that cat. She was like, oh. So your vision board is like, it's personal to you, okay? So anyway, step number 1. Create the right environment. Like, let's create an environment that feels good. Like, this is not an exercise that you need to rush, squeeze in. Oh, I've got a spare 10 minutes. I'm going to like knock up a vision board. Like, I want you to enjoy the experience. This is going to be something that you display and feel into for however long, like a year, 2 years, or in my case, you know, that one's been with me for 20 years. So enjoy the experience of it. You know, I like to personally get a nice drink. I like to tidy up the space that I'm in, light a candle, actually enjoy the process. And, you know, sometimes I like to do it in a bougie hotel with a, you know, it's got obviously got to be an espresso martini with me. So I'll be in a nice bougie hotel, espresso martini, like feeling abundant, wearing something nice, got my makeup on, got my heels on. Or other times I'll just be like in my cozies, you know, and I'll have like a little hot chocolate with me, and I've lit a candle, and I'm feeling okay, guys. So just a quick note on candles, because I think sometimes we don't realize or appreciate the importance of like our environment and how we feel. And as I say, I really don't want you to like rush this experience. I want you to enjoy it. So at the moment, some of the candles that I'm using, you've probably seen this on my Instagram as well, because I've been tagging them. The Candle Collective. I love them because it isn't just about the smell, it's also about the space, right? And these ones in particular are vegan, they're cruelty free, they're hand poured, shout out to Carol, and also they're made of soy wax as well. And I've got to confess, I didn't realise in the past that the quality of wax does make a difference. I'll be honest with you, I was burning cheap, shitty candles, and then I read about the toxins that they put in the air and you're breathing that in. I was like, oh, that's not good. So I was like, right, I need to look for some alternatives, trying to be a bit more like low toxin stuff. And I came across soy wax candles. So when they burn, they're not putting all that shit into the air. So that is why I am loving the Candle Collective ones. So obviously smells good, but it is about the space that they create. Just on that note of smell as well, that can make a bit of a difference for when you're doing your vision boards and stuff. So for example, the one that I've got burning at the moment, this one is lavender and chamomile. So this is great for the evening, maybe especially like during the winter when you want that cozy feel. It's slower, it's calmer. I actually use this one before bed as well, not just when I'm vision board making. So yeah, very spa-like. But if you're wanting something a bit more, you know, focus, energy, invigorating, then the bergamot and patchouli one, that's a good one as well. That smells really, really fresh. Love that one. So that might also be really good if you're planning as well. So sometimes what I do is I like to do my vision board as well as then doing planning with it as well. So yeah. Or if you're also a digital nomad like me, a little one in a tin as well, because it's, yeah, obviously it's much more light, and in a tin it's much more durable as well. So yeah, just wanted to share that. And so again, there's no right or wrong answer, but I do want you to create an environment, and I do want you to enjoy the process. Step number 2, I want you to get really, really clear on what it is that you actually want. So first, before you even start creating the vision board, I want you to visualize what it is you really want. Now, the reason why this is so important is because often I've done visualization exercises with clients or at my events and stuff. And every single time, without fail, when we've gone around and said, you know, what came up for you in the visualization, everybody has gone, oh, I wasn't expecting that, because we often don't allow ourselves to really feel and visualize what it is that we actually want. And we often put things on our lists and put things on our vision board that we think we should have, or what society thinks we should have, or what our mum thinks we should have. And when we give ourselves that space and that time to just breathe and lock into what is it that I want, listening to that inner self, subconscious, whatever you want to call it, is so powerful. And I'll just give you an example here, because I did this with a client quite recently, and she was really surprised to see that a lot of colour came in her visualization. And she was like, and she even could see the colour of her lipstick, she could see the colour of her dress. And I was like, what do you think that's showing you, babe? And she was like, that I'm not taking enough care of myself and my appearance, and for me, looking good and feeling good is really important. I was like, don't hide from that then. Like, create that as part of your vision board. That's like part of the life you're trying to manifest, right? That's your life and your business by design. So of course, when we did her visualization, her goals, vision board, etc., we added more of that in. I had another client quite recently. This was at my business brunch and bubbles event, and she was really surprised to see that the home environment played a huge part in her visualization. She was expecting it to be like business goals and stuff like that. She was like, oh, that was weird. And when we digged into it deeper, what we realized is that actually she hadn't got the office space in her home, and she was working from home, building her business, She hadn't got it how she wanted. So that actually was putting a bit of a blocker in her way because she wasn't really stepping into the identity of the person who has the business that she wants. So this is why visualization can be so powerful. It will surface the things that are important to you, your values, your priorities, all those things bubbling under the surface, your subconscious that you might not actually be aware of. And this is why we need to bring them to the forefront before we even start creating the board. I love what Bob Proctor says, which is everything that's coming into your life, you are attracting into your life. And it's attracted by the virtue of images you're holding in your mind. And I love that. And this is why, again, a vision board can be so powerful. Step number 3. I want you not to just focus on the things that you want, but I want you to also focus on how you want to feel. This for me has been an absolute game changer when it comes to creating my vision boards. It isn't just about what I want, like that handbag or going diving, but it's also how do I want to feel? A bit like with the cat and the sleep. Like I want you to feel blissful, like blissful sleep rather than tossing and turning and anxious anxiety, insomnia. So also, how do you want to feel? That needs to be incorporated into your vision board as well. Step number 4, create the vision board. So now you can actually start creating this, and how you want to do it, I'm afraid is up to you. Like I have had so many people go, oh, what's the right way to do a vision board? And to be honest, whatever's right for you. Now, for me, it feels right to do it on Canva. Back in the day, I used to use PowerPoint. For me, it feels right to do it on Canva because I use Canva every day for business. It's really accessible. It's really easy for me. When I've got a new idea, I can just easily like drop it in. I can like duplicate the board. Often my images will, like my vision boards are quite similar year on year or chapter on chapter, and I'll get to that in a minute. So it's for me, I'll just like duplicate it, but also I like to keep all the old ones so I can actually see like the evolution of the vision board over the years, the chapters, etc. So that's how I like to do it. My mum is old school. She likes to cut out of magazines and, or she'll print images and then cut them out and stick them onto a laminated board. A nice little touch actually that my mum also does is that when she's achieved that thing, she'll take it off and stick it to the back of the vision board. So she's also got like a recollection of the past of the vision board things that she's achieved, not just going forward. I think that's a really cute idea. And the way that I do it, the way I do it is obviously that I've got a recollection of the evolution of my vision boards rather than sticking it on the back. But I just think that's a super cute idea. On that note as well, like with the master vision board, and we'll get to more of that in a minute, with this bad boy, this is more of a life one for me. So some of these things I might have achieved, but I'm not going to take off because this is like symbolic of the life that I want to live. Does that make sense? So for example, the luxuriness, that's not a word, but like, things like flying business class and, the fancy cocktails, like that's symbolic of the life that I want to live, not just I want to have that particular cocktail in that bar and then that's a one and done. And also there's things on there like sushi. I'm embracing my heritage, being half Japanese, and I want to enjoy more Japanese food going forward. That's not like I'm just going to have one sushi dinner and then I'm done. But then there's some stuff on there, for example, like one day I would love to have my own affirmation card journal pack. So that's on there, and that's probably like a one and done. This particular handbag, if you're wondering about it, it is the Gucci Dionysus one. That I'm probably just going to get the one, I don't need 10 of those. So yeah, your vision board, I want you to use it in a way that is going to work and help you. Okay, so this can be done on like Canva, PowerPoint. It can be done by cutting out images, printing images, Pinterest, like however you want. But as I said before, create a beautiful environment and enjoy the process. Step number 5. Now this is probably where a lot of people go wrong, even though it's really fucking obvious. Display it. put it somewhere. Now, my one has been battered to shit. That has literally gone all around the world with me, but it doesn't matter because it's not about it being perfect. It's about going, that's the life that I'm creating. Display it. Like mine's got this bit of string on it so I can hook it anywhere. Please make sure you're displaying it, because once it's done, it needs to be seen. Like this isn't just like, oh yeah, I've done my vision board. Places that you are going to see it every single day. So I'm talking about like in your office, in your car, desktop, screensavers, fridge is a good one. If you're like me and a snacky snack girl, I go to the fridge quite a lot. Also the toilet. I go to the toilet a lot. I've got a very weak bladder. So, you know, displaying it in places that you know you're going to regularly frequent. You know, maybe putting it next to like your makeup station in the mornings when you're getting ready for your day ahead. You can see it. Maybe it's on a notebook, phone covers, you know, all sorts of things. Just where are you actually going to see it? Okay, so let me now give you, I think I've got five tips for getting the most out of your vision board, because as I said, you've done it, you've displayed it, but that's not the end of it, babe. Okay, so tip number one. Now, I alluded to this before, but the way I like to do my vision boards is I like to think in chapters. So I have the big master one. That one is like with me for life. But then what I also like to do is I like to do a vision board, and this is where the Canva comes in, and I like to then do a vision board for the chapter that I am in at the moment. So this is 39, is obviously, right now I'm 39. This is the chapter of 39. These are the things that I want to achieve, how I want to feel. These are the things that I want to manifest. These are the goals that I'm working on, etc., etc. So I've actually done mine in chapters as well. Now a chapter, it's up to you how you determine a chapter. For me, a chapter at the moment is a year. You know, a year until my 40th. Like that felt like a kind of poignant chapter, a milestone. But I've also done it in the past where a chapter has just been a season. So for example, it's been like only 2 months or 3 months. I'm going to share this because I'm quite happy to be very open. At the time of recording this, it's only a couple of months until February. And I decided that on my divorce anniversary date, which is the 22nd of February, there's certain things that I wanted to have achieved for myself to feel good about how far I've progressed since the unexpected divorce. And the reason why I say that is because it was never my decision, and obviously it absolutely sideswiped me when it happened. So I really felt like at the time that, you know, my world came crashing down. Like I lost my house, my husband, like everything overnight. And I literally have had to rebuild from scratch in the last couple of years. So I often get in my head about not feeling successful enough, or not having certain things by this point, like, oh, you're pushing 40 and you still haven't had X, Y, and Z. So I made a commitment to myself to be like, right, by this February milestone, in the next couple of months, I want to have achieved certain things. And that pressure isn't come from society. That's just stuff that I want to do. So I am also going to create a vision board for 2026, but I'm also going to create a vision board for just that couple of months to really hone in and focus, to keep my eyes on the prize about this is what I'm achieving and wanting and feeling as well over the next couple of months. So a little side note there. So number one, tip for getting the most out of it, think in chapters. Tip number two, use words as well as images, okay? If you don't want to use words, don't use words. If you do want to use words, great, use words. And the words, they can be whatever the fuck you want. Use fuck if you want. Like, it's... So, for example, one of my words for 2026, actually I've got two, elevate and optimize. So these words are going to go on my vision board because they mean something to me. If they don't mean something to you, don't have it. Like, that's fine. Tip number three, include experiences, identity, and lifestyle, not just things. Now, I know I've mentioned this kind of casually already, but I just want to reiterate it to help you get the most out of your vision board. It isn't just about these are the materialistic things that I want. Do include those, but it's more than that. What are the experiences that you want to have? How do you want to show up? How do you want to feel? Like, all these kind of things add depth to your vision board. Tip number four, and I think this one doesn't get mentioned enough. Include what you want more of based on the things you've already done. Like, the vision board doesn't just have to include things that you're manifesting or the big goals or the big milestones that you haven't yet achieved. They could also be the things that you have done, liked, and thought, I have a little bit more of that, thank you very much. So I'll give you an example. On my vision board, you probably can see here that I'm the one in the little pink dress there. That was the first time I'd sat on a panel talking about ADHD. And I've made no secret of the fact that when I found out I had ADHD, I pulled back because I was like, fuck, time management coach with ADHD. Like, oops, that's not going to land well, is it? So then I started leaning into it. And then this lady reached out to me to say, hey, can you be on my ADHD panel for this event? And I felt so friggin' proud of myself. That is why that picture is on there, because I want to do more of that. I want to speak more about ADHD. I want to share more about my experience, as well as obviously my expertise around time management, because obviously a lot of ADHDers, we struggle with that. So for me, that picture is symbolic of something that I've had and I want to do more of. So don't be afraid to add that. Don't be afraid to expand on the things that you're already doing and want more of. And tip number 5, I have alluded to this, but it has to go in here again. It doesn't have to look pretty, babe. You've seen my one, it doesn't have to look pretty. That is not the importance of it. It needs to be something that you can connect to. Now, if you are someone who wants it perfectly 9x9 grid, go for it. If you're someone like me, you're just a bit like, it doesn't matter, okay? Do you know what? In honesty, sometimes the most confusing looking ones might actually be the most honest. So you got full permission to let go of the perfectionism, let go of the prettiness of it. You know what I mean? And and just create a vision board that works for you. Okay guys, so I hope that has been super useful for you. If it has, please hit like, please hit subscribe. Please also share this with a friend that you know is going to find this useful as well. Or even better, why not share this with a friend and do your little vision board exercise with a friend? Vision boards are not just an activity you do once, tick it off a to-do list, boom, done. There's something that you can come back to again and again and again. I regularly update my vision board. I told you earlier, that one for 39 is already out of date and I'm only 39 and 4 months. So that one needs to be updated. It's not about pretty pictures. Yes, there's pretty pictures in it, but it's about keeping you aligned. It's about keeping you focused. It's about keeping you moving towards the life, the desires that you're wanting to create, that you are wanting to manifest. My name is Alice Dartnell. I am a time and energy management coach, speaker, author, and founder of a Business by Design community. Hopefully this has been useful for you. As I said, please like, subscribe, please share with someone, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for being here, and go have fun creating your vision board. Also helping you beat So the ones that I'm using at the moment, oops.